Hello, science, health, and medicine scholars. It's really great to meet you. My name is Rhonda Kitchens. I'm your librarian, and I'm extremely excited about this project. In fact, I may be too excited, so bear with me, if you will. Right now, this is the page that I have built for your project. You will have this video for research and also a video for putting together your ebook project using Visme or Visme. I'm not sure how you say it. But while you're here, I want to talk to you about what your project does entail. Make sure that you read the directions and also the rubric for your assignment. Make sure you look for the things that say no and find here the things that I'm going to tell you are totally yes. First of all, let me tell you something about MESH. It's medical subject headings, and that's how the National Library of Medicine is like a controlled vocabulary. So if you put in one of the words you're searching for, it'll tell you some of the different ways that you can search it. So let's go to MESH, and let's assume that we're working on leprosy. And one of the things that you should be doing while you're doing research is collecting keywords. So for your part, you have to find diagnosis, treatments, tests, all sorts of things like this. As soon as you start typing this, it's going to give you some different ideas about the different types and all sorts of other things. But let's go into this particular page. You can still look at some of the minor things, but let's look at this because I want you to see how it does. What it does is give you the subheadings, and these subheadings are keywords and that you can use to research not just Pubmed, but Proquest and a variety of other places. And I'm going to show you too, some of these words have different types of ways to end them. Therapy, therapies, therapeutic. Wouldn't you like to search them all the same way at one time? Well, let's look at the page. I want to show you some search tricks. Now you've found a way to find all the different types of keywords you may need about your topic. Let's see how we can use them. Now remember how I said the thing about therapy had different ways to say it? Instead of searching it 3 different times, just back it up to the part where it has the most common place. Here, say if we're looking for nursing, nurse, and nurses, it all stops this common area right here with S, and you would express it NURS with an asterisk. Now, suppose you have something that's a phrase. Get rid of the noise. If you're looking for a case study or case report, I have some examples down here, and you want to look at one of those specifically, put it in quotation marks. Now, and I think we can see some of these other things. When you're looking at things and you need to find them together, to use and, you'll find a place where they overlap. You have or. If you want to look at prevention or control, both of them together, you would use the word or, you would use it capitalized, and some of the databases, that's a drop-down piece. Let me see some other things that might appear. Leprosy and classification and pathology, and you'll see here how I use the asterisk to get more. So get the most out of that one search. Don't have to go in a couple of different ways. Trauma is really one of the big words that has all sorts of different ways to do it. Remember, it's the suffix parts. Back it up where it's the most common and put that asterisk and it'll find the suffixes all in one beautiful search. So here, you've learned about MESH to find different subject headings and words, and now you've used different ways to look at these words and do things with them to make them more effective. Now let's look at some of the great things that you might use. Pubmed is free. It's online. When you leave the college, in some cases, some of you that may end up becoming nurses or working in hospitals, Pubmed is going to be what you have at hand. So let's take a look at that and see why it's wonderful and so well used. First of all, it's curated. Not just any article is in here. The best articles. It goes through sort of an edited process, a curation process, and the articles are connected together so that if you see one article on a topic, you should be able to find similar articles. You'll also find the MESH headings, and I'll have it all put it together for you. Now, not all of these are available to you for text, but you can find it. Now, using leprosy, let me spell it right, as our test, I'm going to go here. I could have put leprosy and treatment and the other things. come over here and put free full text. And I'm going to bring it again so I can get the other. And it will search just for those things. Now, when you're in this database, primarily you're going to be finding these things: books, documents, clinical trials, meta-analysis, randomized control, trial, review, systematic review, all sorts of things you might need. Now, you don't see case study listed in here, but they're in here. You go up here and put in case study as an extra search. You can also look at all these different parts. Now, we see that we look for full text. And make sure you always work from full text and not the abstract. The full text is going to appear to you over here on the right side. So one of these things should work for you. If you're looking for citations, this is going to give you a couple of different ones to choose from. This is APA. The rule here is to copy and correct it, but some of these are quite accurate. So at least you'll have the basic pieces and be able to fix them. Also, while you're here, you'll see similar articles, figures, publication types, and when I get myself in order, I will be doing more of building the link out. So you'll see all sorts of things here. Now, if somebody's written something about it and then it was cited by someplace else, you'll also see those items here as well. So it's really quite a wonderful thing. And when I'm putting this together for you, this is like just a snapshot of why it's awesome. In a lot of cases, many of you will be able to get much of your research done here and using things that are high quality, up to date, transparent, connected, and can help you find other things. Also, we have a database called Proquest. This will work for so many of your projects, you would be quite amazed. It covers things from astronomy to zoology. So it may get a little broad for your piece, but you never know. So come in here and also give it a try. When you're using us off campus, don't use the @bigben.edu, and you should be able to sign in just fine. Hopefully it won't take that long. And you will have a search screen. Do you see where it has the and? Leprosy. And I can put and, let's put treatment. You can put your other keywords in there to find the different parts. You want to make sure that it's full text. You probably would like to see peer reviewed. And if you'd like to have the last 3 years, last 5 years, or whatever, you would be able to make that identification there to make sure you're working with current materials. So we should get full text, peer-reviewed, scholarly materials delivered to us. We have 1,863 results, and this should be giving you a variety of different types of treatment, analysis, baseline studies, long term studies. Sometimes you'll see a systematic review. Systematic reviews are wonderful things that bring together all types of different studies and usually has a prediction or it lets you know what the best practice for something may be. So when you see systematic review, or you can search it as a phrase, those are sometimes really great. Here's one right here, and it's specific to the mental well-being of persons and the family members. So this would kind of mash up all these different studies, sometimes hundreds, and come up with a great way to solve that issue. So if that fits your topic, those are really great to use and very rich in evidence. In fact, they're top of the evidence-based pyramid. Anyway, so that is Proquest. You can see it should be easy to use. Another good thing about this is if you see something here, it's kind of like Netflix. It will also say, hey, if you like this, you may also like this. It'll give you other items here to the right. Additionally, if your keywords or you need some other ways of looking at it, risk groups, ecological monitoring, disabilities, hygiene studies, etc., take these keywords and put them in your keyword list and use those as well. Now we're going into general science full text, and this is part of an EBSCO database product that we have. And probably anywhere you go in terms of academic pursuits, you should have this. One of the nice things about it is you can choose the database. While I'm using general science full text, I happen to know it has some other things that may be useful too. I would like to search also biomedical. You can also look through things in nursing like health source. Let me see if I can bring this down. Health source and all sorts of other things. Humanities. Sometimes you might want to look at something like sociology and psychology. Those types of things are here as well. I want to look at our 2 science databases that may give us some information about leprosy. So I'm going to put in my word leprosy. This is very nice. It starts typing for you, except it's not helping me today. Leprosy or Hansen's disease. You see how it automatically uses that. And I'm going to put tests. I could put an asterisk here because I'm like, testing. I'm not sure which one's great. I would like to have full text, and I'm going to go search here. You should find some different topics here that would be useful to you. You see this is back to 1985. Unless you want something that old, bring it in and look at the past 5 years. Did you see this one looks sort of interesting? That may talk to you, discuss with you provenance and other issues you need to cover in this piece. To look at it, just go right in here. It will give you the full text. If it's available, make sure you look at the PDF because that's going to give you the images and the tables and other things you may need. And over here to the right hand side, when you're doing your citations, go here, Cite, select for whichever one you're using. APA 7th edition is here. But as always, remember to copy and correct, but it's going to have a lot of the pieces available for you. So this is also a complete package, and you can build your own databases as you need to do so, which I think is awesome. So we're going to look at this. So I covered these 2 in one thing. Let's go look at our ebooks. We have some really great ebooks right now. I say right now because I'm hoping our budgets hold because we have 3 different academic packages built into one. Let's see what this looks like for this topic. It does the same thing. It is also an EBSCO product, but these are going to be books. This talks about all sorts of things that you may be interested in China and the different places. So if you're building a case study of a person from different places, you might be able to put in the city or the place, Korea, etc. And one of the really wonderful things is when you go into this, I have it set up so it goes to the PDF immediately because a lot of people wanted to download it and that required her to sign in, and that kind of took a lot of time. But the PDF is device agnostic. You can use it almost anywhere. So if we want to search this book and we want to look at treatment specifically, it will kind of give you the search term in context to see if that might be where you would like to go. And if you have not used this term in your keywords, you may also use it to find other keywords. When you click on this, this takes you to the pages where it should be. Down where I'm at, let's see, I can show you. You have controls, and these are also very easy to use on your phone or a smaller device. And you can make them larger or bigger and go to the part where you're trying to read and find the information you need for your project. So that's quite a few things, but guess what? There's actually one more thing, and it also has a benefit, and it's based on your topic and what you're looking for. Which one of these things might be the best possible thing for you? I'm going to show you Google Scholar. This is also good when you're looking for scholarly articles in other places. Now, this link is one that I built. You see I have an institution code here. This means that this goes over, instead of Proquest and EBSCO and all these places, we can search them all at one time and find the things that are theoretically full text. I'm just going to go leprosy treatment. I'm going to put since 2017. If you click on this, you'll generally go to a paywall. It'll ask you for money. If you go over here, in many cases, it takes you to the full text, full view. This is specifically going to take you back into our databases, but this helps you find things online that are full text, that are scholarly articles that you're able to use. Now, the other really delicious things about this, look at this, like, it's not available full text. Okay, that's interesting. So it has 7 other pieces. None of those are, but sometimes you'll find these are, if you look at the other versions, you can find the full text. The next thing you can do is say, oh, who cited this? And you could go to look at who cited this. It's usually newer. It usually is the same topic, and often you can find those as full text. And if you're trying to determine whether or not something's popular or not or well used, the citations will let you know. And if you forget how to cite something, or you forgot a volume number or something like this, go to the little quotations on Google Scholar. This is a scholarly article. Always copy and correct. This is slightly incorrect for 7th edition because you list up to 21 authors now, and this only uses 8. But at least it'll give you something to work with. And sometimes students ask the librarian at the last minute, like, I can't find the page numbers. And this is how we can help out with all those little details. So we're at 15 minutes. I know this was really fast, but any one of these little things could really help you out on this project. If you get lost, guess what? Ask your librarian. All throughout your academic career, if you come to something that doesn't make sense, because if you go to different colleges, you're going to have something like 700 different databases. Here, make sure you always ask your librarian there. Always ask them as well, because we'll be glad to help you out. I did not take you to the library's front page, but this is what we look like. And if you wanted to go just to the databases and look around, you can look by subject, which will narrow these down and give you some of these. And you can also look by the name. You're like, I want our Google Scholar link because it's the one that actually works. Go to G. Here it is. If you don't remember how to use it, right here, we have you. And if we don't have you, we're glad to set up appointments and work with you. I'm really excited about your project. I hope you are too. This is fantastic.